Okay. Of course, I had parked my car behind St. Austin's Catholic Church over here. I ran through the church, and then I came onto Guadalupe Street. I used this building here as shelter. I stayed on the other side, and then on this building, I came through the inside of the building and came in this direction. I stood right here, and I looked up there to see what was going on. I could see the dead and the wounded people around in the area. And right around here was a spot of blood. And I didn't know at the time that this is where Billy Speed had gotten shot. He got shot right through here. The tree, of course, it was not as big back then. You know, you're talking about almost 50 years of growth. But it was open, and it was one hell of a shot to come here and hit him in the chest. And this is where he fell down. Okay, I came up, and I looked, and I could see the woman. There was a pregnant woman right there. She was squirming because he was extremely hot. She was in pain. And of course, there were other people, and I could see somebody over there, about where the young lady's walking. You could see it at the time. The hedges were not so high, and I could see somebody laying out there. So there were bodies around out here. So here is where I made the decision that I wanted to get inside of the tower. And I ran up this stairs, and I ran to where those trash cans are, and then I cut to the left. There.
Okay.
All right.
Now, you had said that you zigzagged.
Yes, I ran as fast as I could, zigzagging.
Okay. Now, when did you decide to start running? I mean, were you waiting until you heard shots somewhere else?
No, immediately when I decided to run, I started running when I came up the steps. I didn't hesitate.
Okay.
Now, shooting was going on. I don't know if it was people shooting at him or he was shooting back down, because he was just like rolling thunder. It echoed back and forth. It would bounce from the buildings. And so you really didn't know if he was incoming or ingoing, you know. But anyway, I just don't know if he even saw me or if he even shot at me. I don't know. All I know is I just ran as fast as I could, zigzagging until I got to that wall, and then I used that wall to walk around.
Okay.
And hotter than today.
That is right.
And you don't know if he can see you or not.
What kind of training, kicked in here at this point? You were in the Army, right?
Yeah. Oh, I learned how to run in the Army. Run fast. But see, once I got to this wall, I felt comfortable because he could not shoot me from there. I went along the wall. Of course, I stayed right against it.
Mm-hmm.
Going around. Don't know if it, yeah, just straight up.
And you had been here at least once before, is that correct?
Yep.
So you kind of knew the building situation and where to get in.
Yes.
Okay. So you went through the west door. You went through this door here.
Right.
Okay.
Wasn't air conditioned back then, wasn't it?
Not that I recall. Okay, once I was inside, I went over here to the right and went up the steps on the right.
Okay. Is
went upstairs, and I remember I ran across Jerry Day around right here. And Jerry Day, the windows were open. I can remember something like that, and he was pointing his gun up. You know, he was looking out of this. And
Are you gonna go all the way up?
now let me see. Yeah, here's where. Yeah, he was looking, pointing his gun up over there, but
Top.
top.
And was Crump here yet?
No, I mean, it was just Jerry Day. Now, it was around, right up here at this landing that I ran across a campus security officer, and he had a radio, and I tried to use his radio to call the police department to say I was here, and also to ask for an armored truck to get the wounded where I had come by. We couldn't communicate with the radio, so I gave it back to him. There was a black dial phone there. I dialed it, the first number I dialed, and he got a busy signal right away. I could not get through to the police department. So I just hung up, and then I came back down and went towards the elevator. Jerry Day, like I said, I saw him the last time here. I don't know where he went because, like I said, I went over there and I used the phone, tried to use the phone. Later on in 1960, when I came back from the Army and I joined the Austin Police Department, the first day that we were recruits, they took us to the DPS to show us DPS and how they function and how we could use them. And then they brought us up here to look at, to get a good view of the whole city. And so I knew where this elevator was.
Oh, yeah.
When I was on the elevator, of course, you could still hear all the shooting going on. It was kind of muffled a little bit, but you could still hear all the shooting going on. I thought they were different. It was kind of all the numbers were, this has been remodeled, I guess, because you had the numbers in a sequence, you know, that I was watching them flicker by.
What were you thinking in this moment?
I was praying.
Yeah.
Then when the door opened, I was facing a rifle and a pistol. It was Jerry Day and Alan Crum that were facing me here with the weapons. I had my gun out because I didn't know what to expect. And it was Jerry Day and Alan Crum that were holding these weapons against. But right around here was a small table. And Dub Cowan from DPS Intelligence, but I knew Dub Cowan, and there was another black phone there, dial phone, and he kept dialing and dialing. Also, there was another gentleman. He had a piece of paper, and he was trying to draw a diagram of upstairs. I mean, what's up there. And
How long have you been keeping up here by the time you got here?
about an hour at least. Probably an hour. And Jerry Day followed me, and we together, we started checking offices to see if anybody was there. All the doors were open. We looked inside and nobody was there except one. And when I tried to open it, force it open, somebody said, "Who is it?" And I said, "Police." And they said, "Just a second." And they started unstacking furniture that they had piled up against the wall, the door. They took all the furniture down, and then they came out and they ran to the elevators and they went down. But there was one man, and he was later identified as Mr. Gabor. He had a pair of white women's shoes, and they were bloody. And he says, "That SOB has killed my whole family." He said, "Let me have your gun and I'll go kill him." And I said, "No, sir." I said, "We'll take care of the problem for you." And then he started trying to get my gun. I had to wrestle with him. And Jerry Day and I wrestled him over from back over there, over here, till we got the elevator. Then when we had an elevator, I shoved Jerry and Mr. Gabor in there. And they pushed the button. Alan Crum, who I didn't know who he was. I thought he was from some law enforcement agency. He had a rifle. And so I stepped over in this direction because I saw bloody footprints. And I started going up to the stairs, and then I started going up. That's when Alan Crum says, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going up to look for the shooter." And he says, "Friend, you're not going by yourself." He says, "I'm going with you. We'll cover one another." I said, "Well, come on." I didn't know who he was. I thought I had another law enforcement officer with me. So we went this way. Now, these things have changed. And of course, I had my pistol, and Alan had his rifle. He was right behind me, and we proceeded on slowly, because you have to look around here. And so anyway, we go up. And all this time, there's shooting going on. You can hear it. You can hear the rumbling. And there was a little boy, and then his aunt was dead. And then the mother, Miss Gabor, she was drowning in her own blood. He had to turn her over. And I got blood all over my shirt. And then the older boy was against the wall over there. And he said, he's outside. So after we turned Miss Gabor over, Crum and I went up and we got the young man and pulled him back because we still had to go up the stairs. Okay. Okay. Here it was open. It was open there because there was a desk barricading the steps and right. So when we got there, that's when Alan Crum said, he said, "Are we playing for keeps?" And I said, "You damn right we are." And he says, "Well, I guess you better deputize me." And deputized me, and that's when I realized that he was not law enforcement. And deputized me, so I said, "Consider yourself deputized." And then we proceeded up and we pushed that desk around. This has been changed. That door was not there because we pushed that desk around. And trying to see where the phone was. There was a phone on the wall somewhere and it got ripped out. I think the couch was over here where she had been drugged and put behind the couch and she was dying. At that time, of course, we could see out this window. I looked out this window. I could not see anything except some debris, some bullet casings and other debris there. Couldn't see anything. There was some dolly. It was propped against. And all the time, like I said, shooting was going on. You could hear it. It was very loud. And so I pushed that dolly and it went clanging finally. Clang, clang, clang. Opened the door, and I had hesitated for a little while because I didn't know if he had heard the clanging, and he might be coming around. But like I said, there was a lot of fire coming up. Anyway, I was down, and when I opened the door, of course, I wasn't standing up because You could hear it. And looked in that direction, and I did not see the guy. So I got Alan Crum to come out here and point his rifle in that direction. I said, I'm going to look around, and I came over here and I looked in that direction. And I looked, and I could not see him there. So I told Crum.
You came back.
Yeah,
Okay.
I told Crum, I said, you stay here and aim that rifle. If he comes around that corner, shoot him, because I'm going to go around and look for him. I said, okay. Oh yeah, I mean, I was like this, you know, because the thing of it is, there were bullets hitting up here, and then bam, you know, it would hit, and dust would come out, rain down on you. There, and look, here you can see here, you can see there. When I first got out on that side, I mean at the door, I could tell that once in a while there were some bullets coming into the drains. But when people started shooting back at him, then that's when he had to revert to the rain spouts and shoot from the rain spouts. So once the people out there noticed that he was shooting from the drains, they started putting rounds into the spouts. I was about right here when I just happened to turn around, and I saw McCoy had come out, and he was there, you know, some distance, and of course he was against the wall over here, and he was pretty tall, so I motioned for him, you know, to get down, and he didn't understand what I was telling him to do, but a couple of rounds hit up there, and he understood. Then he started hunkering down. Okay, when I got to this position, of course, I couldn't see all the way. I had to walk and using the cover of this overlay, or whatever you want to call it, that supports the clock. When I got here, and I looked around, I saw the sniper right there where the light is. He was aiming an M1 carbine. He had it propped like on the knee. He was going to shoot somebody. I was afraid that Alan Crum had left his position and gone on a rifle that he had gotten from DPS there, and he was fiddling with it, and it went off. And it hit the wall over there, which drew the attention of Whitman. And if that hadn't happened, he would probably been aiming his damn carbine at me when I came around the corner, or moved from here, and I would have been dead duck. When I saw him, I opened fire. And I want to point out one thing. See, from back there you can see that I had a good clean shot at him here without any obstructions. Now there was those big old lights here, like that. But he was sitting here and he was aiming that rifle when I know I hit him because he was aiming like that. I know I hit him somewhere in here because I shot at body mass. And I could tell that I had hit him because he went up, he reacted, and then he tried to bring that carbine around, and I kept advancing on him, shooting at him. As I advanced, of course, I was doing the duck walk, which was like this, you know, and moving forward, and hollering at McCoy to shoot. McCoy must have shot while I was shooting because I didn't hear the first shot, but when he shot the second time, I could see that he hit him. and kind of spun him around. And like I said, he was trying to bring the carbine down. So when he hit him, kind of spun him around to the right, and he started going down. And by that time, my gun was empty. I dropped my gun, reached back, and got the shotgun from him. And I rushed him because he still had that damn carbine in his hand. And to me, there was still some body movement. And I just wanted to make sure. I came and I shot him one more time. And if he was dead, fine. But I was going to make sure. Period. I didn't want him to shoot at me. He's already shot too many people. That was the end of him right here. Once that was done, I started waving the shotgun and saying, "We got him, I got him," or something. But the shooting continued. So I threw the shotgun down, and I was about to pass out because I had dehydrated, exhausted. The adrenaline wasn't pumping anymore, and my knees just buckled, and I was afraid I was going to collapse. So I said, "I'm getting the hell out of here." McCoy was going through the guy's pockets trying to find identification. I picked up my gun, put it in. Once he was dead, I got the heck out of there. Now, there was an assault team that came up with McCoy. There was Moe and Schulquist and George Shepard and Connor. I know all of those guys came up, but I didn't see any of them because they followed. They came in behind me, and I went that way. And the only one I saw was Connor, who was guarding the door when I came in. Connor was there. So I went down. By the time I got down, they had removed the bodies, and I got on the elevator, went down, and there was an ambulance outside, and there was Lieutenant Morgan and Lieutenant Merle Wells. They grabbed me because I had blood on my shirt. They thought I had been wounded, and tried to put me in the ambulance, and I said, "I'm okay, I'm okay."
When you grabbed the shotgun,
stairs or something. Finish the story.
Well, we go up. We go up, and then where we started there on the 26th floor going up, he started looking at me and started laughing. And I said, "What the hell are you laughing about?" And he just kept on laughing. And I said, "What's so damn funny?" And he says, "You're confused, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, I am." And he says, "I had the same problem because on that day, the distances were far away, I mean, that hallway was long, but here they are, real short, He says, "I was also confused." And I talked to the people that were in Vietnam, and he says, "Yeah, when you're in battle, everything, your senses are at the top, top performance. You sense everything, you see everything, you can hear everything, because you want to survive."